Tô.
Eu. Mano, já falei com o Diogo, pá, também já estava a ligar aí à malta toda, mas ele disse-me, pá, que vai trabalhar contigo. Pá, foi lack of communication, you know, it was my bad. Mas, mano, eu também ontem, I fucking forgot that it was, mano, ele está a passar o dia todo cá em casa e pá, ele nunca está cá em casa, pá, but still there is no excuse, I should have said something. Mas lá também como não houve, you know, any type of communication this morning. Yeah.
Pronto, acontece. Eu vou gravar um vídeo de YouTube agora. Eu sei, já falei com ele.
Parece que as coisas vêm baixo.
Não, pá, foi um bocado shitty, mas pronto, acontece. Agora que é só gravar os vídeos e já, estou um bocado in a rush. Ok?
In a rush?
Já, tu não tenho gravado os vídeos de YouTube, ainda tenho de ter com o gajo. Força.
You know, I appreciate you as well.
Pronto.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
So this is how a fitness coach went from charging $40 for his service to 11xing his price after starting to work with me. So if you're a fitness coach just starting out and you're maybe signing a couple of clients but just on free trial or very low amount of money, or you're making between 2 and 5k a month in an international market, this is for you. If you want to monetize your current audience and you have between, let's say, 15 to 50k followers, stick around. I'll be documenting every single thing that we did so you can implement this in your content strategy. So my client went from making absolutely zero money at all from coaching to 2k cash collected in the first 30 days, and now he's reaching 3k a month, and the goal is to get him to 5k fully organically in a hard market to sell, and while being in college and on Erasmus. So first things first, when we sign a new client, the first thing is to really build out his brand identity. So because everybody sells coaching nowadays, everybody has a product, everybody has a service, but how do you actually stand out and become different within this market? So we laid out his 4 pillars, which were eating with purpose, being Christian, functional body, and being combat ready, because he did combat sports. So this is a very healthy and natural approach to fitness, because we see a lot of guys like going to the gym, doing the powders and all that stuff. And we took a different approach in the Portuguese market because this is very rarely done. And yeah, just build out his brand identity. And this is very important because this is like the foundation of the content. And a lot of people struggle with the content because of this. They don't know their foundations. But if you know your values, if you know what you're trying to say and communicate in your message, it's very easy to just pump some content because you know what you are speaking of. You know your core value. And then we worked on his positioning. What is positioning? Positioning is, all right, the market sees it this way and is used to do this way. And people in this market, let's say fitness, to talk about like this and preach this. And how can we, well, be different? So our positioning and unique angle was just preaching and eating foods that humans were meant to eat, preaching real values, and just not only going to the gym, but to actually get the confidence within, but to actually be ready to fight and be ready for every adversity life can throw at you, and just shit on processed foods. And with this being said, it's very easy to lay out our ICP, which is high performers, guys that want to improve their health, have good values, guys that are kind of bored of the gym and have been going to the gym very consistently, but they haven't been seeing the results, or they might not be reaching that full potential that they want to achieve. And we also do the anti-ICP. What is this? Is people we actually want to push away within our marketing. So the lead quality is way better. So if you're having a lot of unqualified leads and unqualified prospects, I highly recommend you develop this sheet and actually know who you are not targeting, who is not a good fit, so your message can be way more precise in who you are reaching. So now we know what kind of person Martin wants to position himself as and who we are speaking to. Now, if we want to make money, we have to build out an offer that actually makes sense. So we built out 3 packages: a 3-month package, a 6-month package and an 8-month package. And this is really for just price anchoring. If people see 900 for 8 months, they might just buy the mid ticket, which is also very good within this market. In the Portuguese market, like 6 months of fitness coaching is half this, even if that. So just by this, we can price anchor on the 900, and yeah, and this is for more the continuity clients who've been with him for more time, or people with large pockets. And actually, this has been improved since then, since the time of this recording. He's charging actually 420, if I'm not mistaken, and we're just bumping up prices because the demand and the lead flow has been very good. And basically, it doesn't change anything, it's just the time that's changing. And the next step is actually learn how to deliver more value with less time to more people, so we can monetize a larger amount of people and actually help them, and bump up the one-on-one coaching to a higher price, so we can actually get more revenue and have that price and quality and access to the coach differentiation. Right, so we have the coach, his values, what he's preaching, we have our offer. Now there's the middle game. When people reach the profile, we obviously want to have a clean profile. So that's what we worked on. Get a clear picture of obviously demonstrating desire and his result for him to be perceived as an authority. And on the first story highlight, the client wins. So people, when they first land on the profile, they see, boom, this guy has results. This guy is in amazing shape, and I want to follow this guy. Also, a clear bio of what we do, who we help. I help men transform their bodies and minds and to dominate their life. And the specific key, so you can later plug this into GHL and have a more fluent system with lead magnets and auto DMs and all that stuff. Now, this is where I see a lot of coaches, and even with more followers, mess up, is the attention structure. How do they post content, and what's the intention behind it? Because you can post content endlessly and just get attention, but not be perceived as someone people want to buy from, but not be perceived as someone who people want to buy from, not being perceived as an authority, not actually connecting with the audience. So we divided this into cold traffic, and this is top of funnel content. And for example, Martin fights in tournaments, so we use that and leverage that as a form to get more attention and have videos that perform very well in terms of attention, and bring ICP followers into the account. So people who like fighting, people who are very enthusiastic about it. And also we do another type of content where you can actually see Martin fights his followers. So it's a series, and who doesn't want to see a coach fighting his followers? That's just hilarious. So we leverage that to get qualified attention. So people are engaged, people like and follow his content. And the main goal here is to get the follower, get people into the ecosystem. So this is mainly 50% of the content because this is all organic. We have not run ads yet. And once people follow, now the conversion starts. That's when we implement middle of funnel content. What is this? This is preaching values. This is showing the routine. This is identity shifting, nurturing, and belief shifting content. So shaping the viewer's reality in lifetime. And the main purpose of this is to get people bought into Martin and what he preaches, his values, and to connect. What we effectively do is just to warm leads up from followers, from viewers, to more warm leads. So because this is an organic brand, we've done basically no CTAs here, but now this is where we get people. Now we use two main formats to get leads. One of them is actually story sequences. Story sequences are very good because people like stories, people like to poach in other people's lives. It's very good to nurture, and because they're watching their stories, they feel like connection. We built out storytelling sequences that actually fit within our ICP, which actually fit in on our ICP that has already been going to the gym, and they're kind of seeing results, but kind of not. And then we pivot to an actual solution because we've been shifting their beliefs and just getting him close, getting the leads close and bought in to our process. And then we do a hard CTA, and that's how exactly we book a full afternoon of sales calls of qualified prospects. So we get a lot more leads in this. We get a lot more leads in story sequence answers with the keyword, but A lot of them are obviously not qualified, and that's why we have a setting process to actually make sure they are qualified. But still, we get around, let's say, 20 to 30 leads easily, and then we booked out the qualified ones. Because this is an organic brand. We're not running paid ads, so a lot of just curious people follow along. And obviously the lead magnets, so just solving a very specific problem to our ICPs so we can engage them and get them on the conversation. And then we do just appointment booking. So people are in the DMs, it's very personal. People feel like they are talking to the coach, and I mean, they actually are. And we see a few convos here. We do audios so people know it's Martini and they're very engaged. And it's very important to qualify the leads by these metrics: why they answered, what's their current situation, why they chose Martini and not just keep doing the gym and what they've been doing, if they're financially qualified, and what actually stood out and actually made them send them a message right now. The timing is very important. So to people actually move into a sales call and be ready to commit. And then we just have the sales calls. So it's a very simple funnel, right? Because it's an organic. People are very close to Martini and feel like they have a connection with them, which is very good. And just book out the calendar, and he just spends whole afternoons on sales. And we might get a fucking closer after this, to be honest. And because Martin was actually getting a lot of calls, he was like sending me full paragraphs of client calls to review, which I did. But eventually, that's just a lot of calls. And we actually built out a custom AI call reviewer, which is actually fucking insane. He just roasts the fuck out of this. And this AI just reviews the call. I've been training him on past clients, and it's kind of ruthless, him. And he's kind of ruthless, to be honest, but it's very good because he can very pragmatically just get very quick feedback on the calls and just know instantly between calls what he did wrong and what he did good and what he actually needs to improve. Sometimes in business, like, we don't actually have to complicate. Like, Martin has 15,000 followers and he was making no money, not even charging for helping out clients, or maybe $40. And now he's making 2 to 3K fully organic while he is in college on a market, a Portuguese market that doesn't have a lot of financial capabilities, and the leads are very skeptic. So this is a huge win, and if you are able to do this in a very skeptical market, a very low ticket market, you can easily implement these frameworks in this step-by-step plan and make racks if you are in an international market like the US, the UK, Germany, and all the above, very financial secure places. So that's very good. So still this if you like, and if you have any questions or if you have any doubts on implementing this, I'm available to help you guys out. You can just DM me on Instagram, and you can also book a call down below. If you're not trying to do all this work and all this implementation and figuring stuff out, we'll chat on a call. You can just book it.